Hi, welcome to my kitchen on Argyle Street. Today we're making pie with special emphasis on the technique for the crust, which will turn out flaky and perfect every time. I'm going to turn the camera around in a second to see the ingredients, and we'll go through the steps, and I just want to say hi. Okay, so today we're going to make two pies, an apple and a strawberry rhubarb, and here's our ingredients. We've got some sugar, the apples, the strawberries, the rhubarb, our flour, a lemon and egg, some salt, some cinnamon, some tools that we need, very important, pastry cutter, and for the lemon, to make lemon juice, of course the old rolling pin, and this is just for some nutmeg. And that's our basic list of ingredients. Pretty simple. It might look a bit daunting, but consider we're making two pies. Okay, we're going to start with the crust. I'm making two pies today, so I need 4 cups of flour. For one pie, you need 2 cups of flour. I always use a bit of whole wheat flour as well because it just adds some texture. So if I'm using 4 cups of flour, I've got about 1 cup of whole wheat here and 3 cups of regular flour. Now, a teaspoon of salt or 2 teaspoons of salt when you're making 2 pies. So, and this is done with your hands, okay? You do this whole procedure with your hands. Your hands will tell you when things are good. So that's the flour and the salt mixed together. And now we're going to add the lard. It's 3/4 of a cup for 1 pie, or 1.5 cups for 2 pies. And you just dump it in there. Whoops. Oh, okay, well, you try to be a bit more careful than me, so you don't cover your kitchen in flour. And then you use this very important tool, this pastry cutter, and you cut the flour in, cut the lard in, the shortening in. This is vegetable shortening. You can use lard. Some people use butter. I don't. This isn't health food, okay? Because this is lard, which means it's a solid fat, which means it's a trans fat. So, you can't eat too much pie, but you can never have enough pie. So we're making 2. So you cut it in until it resembles sort of a lumpy kind of oatmeal texture, lumps the size of peas, sort of. You'll see when I get there. I've just got some work to do here. And you want to get as much of the flour touching the shortening as possible, but these little balls of shortening and flour, they're what makes the crust flaky. So that's why you don't want to make it too fine, because then you won't have any sort of alternation of fat in flour, which is how the flakes are actually created. So that's why you keep it kind of pea-shaped, but you do want to thoroughly, you don't want just big amounts of flour either. And this looks pretty good to me, so I'm going to leave it at that for now. Could get a bit more. Well, that looks pretty good. So it's kind of lumpy and ready to have some liquid added to it to bind it together. So to do that, we're going to break 1 egg into a measuring cup. We're going to add the juice of half a lemon. Oh, you know what? You normally want to add the juice first, because then you can pick out any seeds. If I get any seeds in here, yeah, I'm going to have to pull them out, and it's better to just have the lemon juice without the egg already in there. And it looks like I got a big piece of shell in there too. I don't know. Let's see, is that a piece of shell? No, that's just some lard from my hands. Okay, so I'm pulling out I've got a lemon. You can use apple cider vinegar, you can use plain white vinegar, but you need something acidic in here. And an egg. And then you fill up, you add water to make a cup. And then you get a fork and just stir that around gently, you know, just kind of loosely create a liquid. So we have this liquid now, and I'm going to pour some in, not all, just a bit. And then I'm just going to kind of roll this around with my hands, and that's going to start to bind the flour together. Now I'm going to add a bit more. And again, everything's really gentle. You're just kind of rolling it around. You'll feel with your hands, you can feel it's kind of sticky, and you don't want any sticky parts, so you want to kind of break those up to you know, distribute that liquid, that wetness even better through the flour mixture. And I'm going to add a bit more. This will depend on you know, the temperature of your room, like what time of year you're making it, the flour. So it's really done by feel how much liquid you ultimately need, but you just want to be gentle and roll it around. And you can see it's starting to form bigger clumps. Now I'm going to put just a little bit more in. Because you want it to sort of loosely hold together. Like I'm gonna start mushing this. I need to roll it a bit more. Just distribute that liquid. And then when I squeeze this together, it pretty much sticks together. See, I can pretty much pull this out, and you can see it's really loose, but that's fine. That's going to be good. This is going to make 2 pies, so I'm going to split it in half, sort of roughly in half. And I'm going to take out one chunk, and I'm going to sort of force it to hang together. It's really loose. You can see it's really loose. And I'm just gently pushing it. I'm not squeezing it. So that's going to be 1 ball of dough, 1 ball of pastry. And then this will be my other ball of pastry. You can see how loose and crumbly it still is, but when I push it together, it holds, and that is how you get a flaky pie crust. Okay, so that is another ball of dough. Really loose and crumbly, but that's what we want. Now, some people would say wrap this in plastic wrap and put it in the fridge for a while. You can do that. I generally don't, because when I make pie, I want to get it done. And this stuff that's left over in the bottom, that's good, because I'm going to use that to when I peel my apples, which I'm going to start to do right now.